Very good morning, students. In the previous video, I have covered dielectrics and dielectrics materials, how they behave, and basically what are the differences between the polar and non-polar dielectric material. Today I will discuss when such material placed in external electrical field, then how they change their behavior. Because like some materials, like we talk about the nickel, cobalt or iron, if they are placed in some external magnetic field, they get magnetized. Similarly, there are some materials which when placed in electrical field, they behave like small electrical dipoles. This phenomena comes under the electric polarization of matter. So let's talk about how this polarization have done. First talk about the non-polar dielectric materials. If you remember, non-polar dielectric material they don't have finite electrical dipole moment. The electrical dipole moment of the polar dielectric material is 0. Dipole moment was 0. What was the reason behind that? The reason was such material, in such materials, the center of gravity of negative charge and positive charge coincides. That means there is no difference between the positive charge and negative charge. That means they do not form a dipole, and that is why the dipole moment is 0. But when such material placed in strong uniform electrical field, these charges, the negative charge and the positive charge, experience a very strong attractive force in opposite direction. For example, take CO2. If you remember, CO2 is a non-polar dielectric material. Now this is the basically we can say orientation of CO2 when it is not placed in electrical field. So when this CO2 placed in uniform electrical field, these two negative ions of the oxygen will experience force opposite to the field toward this direction. So you have directed the force here, and the positive atom of carbon will experience force in the direction of field, because this is the concept. The positive charge experience a force in the direction of field, whereas negative opposite to the field. Due to these force of attraction, the orientation of this of CO2 start changing. Before, the center of gravity of the carbon and the oxygen, they both were coinciding, but now due to attraction they got separated. Although the separated is not too much, but it is able to form an electrical dipole, right? Because we know that the property of elasticity, it opposes any orientation in the matter, right? So due to that property, a restoring force created between these atoms, and so that it opposes the separation between this atom. So conclusion is, due to the presence of external field, the center of gravity of the positive and the negative charges get separated by small distance, which created a finite electrical dipole moment. Okay, so this happens when any non-polar dielectric material is placed inside the strong electrical field. Now, what will happen if any polar material is placed in electrical field? You know that polar dielectric materials have finite electrical dipole moment because their negative and the center of gravity of negative and positive charges, they do not coincide, but they are separated by a small distance. So in dipole, in the polar materials, there is a individual finite electrical dipole of every atom. Now what if we place them in external field? Let's check out. When these materials are placed in a space where there is no electrical field, then the direction of the electrical dipole moment is like this. They are random. They are randomly placed, hence there will be no resultant electrical dipole moment. Okay, individually, yes, if we take individual, so individual they have finite electrical dipole moment, but if we take all of them, so resultant electrical dipole moment will be 0. Resultant electrical dipole moment is 0 when there is no field. But what happened when these material placed in strong electrical field? Electrical field, or we can say in the presence of electrical field. In the presence of electrical field, what will happen? In the presence of electrical field, they align themselves in the direction of field. Let's say this is the direction of electrical field, so they align themselves like this. Like this. So now they have a finite electrical dipole moment of a whole structure, of a whole material. Okay, this phenomena is known as dielectric polarization or electrical polarization of matter. Okay, I am writing somewhere. I am rubbing this part. You can take screenshots. Okay, what's called? Dielectric polarization or electrical polarization of matter, right? Which phenomena? That when the polar dielectric materials placed in external field, then their electrical dipole moment align themselves in the direction of electrical field, and hence the whole material get polarized. So this phenomena is basically known as dielectric polarization or electrical polarization of matter. So let's understand how the dielectric behaves when it is placed in electrical field. Suppose we have a charged capacitor on this plate. We have, let's say, positive charge, and on the other plate we have negative charged. Between them we have placed a slab of a dielectric material. What will happen? It will get polarized due to induction. Okay, inside the dielectric material, all the electrons will experience the force opposite to the field. Now you can see that there is a space between this capacitor which is filled by vacuum or air. So the direction of electrical field will be from positive charge to the negative charge. So the direction is basically like this. This is E naught, right? This is your E naught, and or precisely E naught is not completely between the plates. E naught is only where we have vacuum. So I must correct it, that E naught is only in this space here, right? Now due to this field, the electrons inside the dielectric will experience a force opposite to the field. So you can see that all of the negative charges appear on the left hand side, which is opposite to the field, and the positive charge gets separated on the other side. This phenomenon is known as polarization of matter, right? Polarization means the negative and positive charge gets separated. Now, this inside this dielectric, there will be electrical field which will be directed from positive to negative charge. Let's say that is E dash. So you can see that inside the dielectric, positive charge is on the right hand side. So the electrical field will be like this. Let's say this is E dash. What is E dash? E dash is the electrical field due to dielectric, right? E dash is the electrical field due to dielectric, right? What is E naught here? E naught is the electrical field in free space. Now, both the fields E naught and E dash, they are in opposite direction, and the value of E dash is slightly less than E naught. Hence the resultant field E will be toward this side, and that will be obviously E naught minus E dash, because E dash was at this side and E naught was at this side, and hence electrical field will be in the direction of the strong field. So we can see that due to presence of this dielectric, inside the dielectric material, the electrical field weakened. Okay. Now we know that the electrical field is directly proportional to the potential. So if electrical field decreases, that means potential will be decreases. So we can write it as E naught upon E can be written as V naught upon V, right? Let's say this is equation number 1. We know that V equals to Q by C. That means V is inversely proportional to C. So V naught upon V can be written as C upon C naught, equation number 2. And C upon C naught is nothing but it is equals to dielectric constant. I am rubbing this part. Because C upon C naught is nothing but it is known as dielectric constant K. So from the equation 1 and 2 and the value of C by C naught, E naught upon E is equals to V naught upon V. This become equals to K, right? Or simply we can calculate here, E will become E naught upon K and V will become V naught upon K. See, you are familiar with this result. We have already done this before. So from this result you can see that the electrical field and the potential decreased by the factor K due to the presence of the dielectric material between the plates, which increases the capacitance of the plates. Dielectric strength, it is very important topic. Let's understand what is this. We have seen that when dielectric material placed in the external electrical field, what happened? The electrons experience a force opposite to the field, right? And they start separating from the positive charge like this. If we keep on increasing the value of electrical field, then obviously these negative charges, which is nothing but electron, will experience more and more force opposite to the field. Then the time will come when these electrons will detach from the atom and make a conducting path between the plates of capacitor. That means now this dielectric, which is basically used to behave as an insulator, will behave like a conductor, and the plates of capacitor will short circuited. So it is very important to know the dielectric strength of any material so that such thing can stop. So how can we define the dielectric strength of any dielectric material? So this is defined as the maximum limit of electrical field with which this dielectric can withstand without an electrical breakdown. Okay, so what is the definition? Let's see. So here's the definition of dielectric strength: the maximum value of the electrical field that it can tolerate without its electrical breakdown. What was electrical breakdown? When the electron detach from the atom and make the conducting path between the plates, or between anywhere where we have applied the potential. This dielectric strength is usually measured in terms of kilovolt per millimeter. So this measure in kilovolt per millimeter. For example, the dielectric strength of air is about 3 kilovolt per millimeter. It is 3 kilovolt per millimeter. Let's understand this first. See, just don't remember the value. Understand the meaning of this 3 kilovolt per millimeter. Okay. Suppose there is a plate where the distance between the plate is, let's say, 1 millimeter. Okay. Now you started giving some electrical field, right? You are increasing the effect of electrical field here. Let's say initially the electrical field was 1 kilovolt, right? And distance is basically millimeter. So the dielectric, if we have air between these plates, then it will experience 1 kilovolt per millimeter potential gradient. Now if we increase, it makes 2 kilovolt per millimeter, right? And we know that if we have air, it will not break down. But if it is 3 kilovolt per millimeter, this is the maximum limit that this air can tolerate. Now if this electrical field is become more strong and become, let's say, 3.1 kilovolt per millimeter, what will happen? The path of between the plates become conductive, and the current will flow between the plate, and these plates will get short circuited. So this is your dielectric strength. Okay, so never think that if you are touching any touching any battery or any energy source with the help of dielectric material or insulator you have in hand, that you will never have any shock. If the potential between the plate, or if the potential between a person and that energy source is more than the dielectric strength of the dielectric material, then it can have a fatal shock. So, okay. So from this, the conclusion is that these insulator can also conduct electricity if we give certain amount of electricity to them. So I think it's good enough for today. We have completed a chapter. I'll discuss some more numerical from this chapter in the next video. Till then, thank you so much, class.